Hi y'all, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and we're here today with another challenge video. So I'll tell you about that in just a few minutes, so let's get to the craft desk and get started. Alright, here we go with DIY number 1. Now for this first DIY, I found this candlestick holder at the thrift store. I think it was $3, and I just thought it was gorgeous. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I cleaned it up with baby wipes and alcohol. And then I went back in there and now I'm painting it with Rust-Oleum Linen White Chalk paint. Now I am going to paint this whole thing complete with 2 coats. Then after I get done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some paint and embellish this. Now I started to put that black chalk paint on there, but then I decided no, I have that picture that I painted for my other video with the birds and the napkin, and so I'm going to make this to match that painting so that it fits in with my whole little display I'm making. And so I'm going to go in here and put down some moss chalk paint by Waverly, and I'm just going to take that and dab it on all over this, on all the raised edges, and bring out all of that detail. You guys, this is really pretty. And then after I finished that, then I went back in with some of the Waverly antiquing wax, and I'm going to dip my glove into that, and I'm just going to wipe it on and wipe off the excess, and then we'll see the rest of this at the final reveal. Alright, this is the third Thursday Thrift Flips. It's one of my favorite challenges to do, and it is hosted by the Rusted Chick Designs, the Rusted Willow, and Z9 Designs as the co-host for this month. You guys go check out these ladies' channels. They're doing some awesome crafts, and you don't want to miss them. There's also a playlist in the description box below and the links to these ladies' channels, so go check them out because they are doing some awesome crafts, and you sure don't want to miss it. So, let's get back to the video. Now, here we go with DIY number 2. Now, I found this beautiful teapot. I got 2 of them at the Goodwill, and I just love how this one looks and the other one looks, and y'all are going to see the other one in one of my upcoming videos. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to paint it completely white with Rust-Oleum Linen White Chalk paint, and I'm going to open up that little lid and paint inside there and paint the outside. And I am sorry I got all of this out of frame. I'm working on it. I just haven't felt good this week. I've had a sinus infection, so y'all please forgive me if I sound kind of nasally today. The next thing I did is I took a little napkin, and I used this napkin in this video that you see here in the corner, and I did a bird portrait. And what I'm doing is I'm taking this little bird and I'm going to put him on here, and here's a snippet of that portrait, and I just think it absolutely turned out gorgeous. I love it. So I was making this to sit on the shelf near the picture. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just laying this down with Mod Podge and going over it with Mod Podge. Then the next thing I did is I took out my little clay molds and I made me this little piece of clay here. Let me see if I can get this where you can see it better. And I'm going to put tacky glue all over the back of this, and then I'm going to lay it down on my piece and then cover it in tacky glue or Mod Podge on the outside. And I'm just lay this one up here on the top, and then I'm going to lay 2 on the side over there by the birds, and then I'll go back over it with tacky glue to seal it in and let it dry. Then once all of that has dried, then I'm going to go back with my Rust-Oleum Linen White Chalk paint, and I'm going to paint this and the ones on the side in white. Now when you paint around that little bird on the front, you're going to want to be really careful so that you don't get white paint on your napkin. And then after I get that done, then I'm going to take my little sponge brush and I'm going to go all over this with the green, and that's the moss green from Waverly. And then I get the antiquing wax from Waverly and go over this piece with that as well. And then we'll see this at the final reveal. Now here we go with DIY number 3. Now I got this cutting board from the thrift store. I got these little blocks from the thrift store, and I got my little antique candles from the thrift store. Now I'm not gluing these together. I just got too much glue on that red one, so I wanted to put some on another one so I wasn't wasting the glue. And I'm going to stick these in the corners. You guys ever have a design in mind, and then when you get it together, it didn't come together the way you really thought it should? That was this project. So anyway, I'm going to glue these little feet all the way around onto this cutting board, and then I'm going to take my cutting board and I'm going to cover it with 2 coats of the Rust-Oleum Linen White Chalk paint. I'm going to paint the top, the bottom, and the sides. Now, the other day, a friend of mine and I were out and about at a antique mall, and we found these little designs like what I'm putting on the front of this cutting board. And it's actually made out of some kind of fabric. It's supposed to be tissue paper, but it's thicker than tissue paper, and it doesn't work the same as tissue paper. So what I'm doing is I'm getting my Mod Podge out, and I am going to Mod Podge this to the front of this cutting board, and you kind of have to piece it together because the top and the bottom weren't on the same page. Then after I finish that, then what I'm doing next is I'm taking and drilling a hole for that little handle that you see laying there. Now I picked that up at the antique mall. This one booth had 3 items for $10. And I was like, oh, wow. I thought I was in Candyland. And I found these old handles, and I kind of knew what I wanted to do with them. So I'm putting them on this project. You guys, when we get to the end of this project, tell me if you really like it or it really didn't hit the mark. For me, I just keep looking at it and going, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Now the next thing I did was I flipped it over and I took my paddle bit and I made a hole that was bigger, and it was about half an inch deep, and I drilled that so that I could drop my washer down in there and then drop my little nut down onto the handles that I'm attaching to the front of this. And you guys, I really love these handles. There's just something about this that doesn't look right to me, and I haven't figured it out yet. This is probably one of those projects I'll redo. The next thing I did is I went back to the front, and I've got all my handles on. I've covered this in Mod Podge, and then I decided, okay, we're going to put some of this little green stuff on here to kind of make it match the theme of everything else. Then after I get through putting all the green on, then I come back with the antiquing wax and go over this as well. And we'll see the rest of this at the final reveal. Alright, this is the third Thursday Thrift Flips. It's one of my favorite challenges to do. And it is hosted by the Rusted Chick Designs, the Rusted Willow, and Z9 Designs as the co-host for this month. You guys go check out these ladies' channels. They're doing some awesome crafts, and you don't want to miss them. There's also a playlist in the description box below and the links to these ladies' channels. So go check them out because they are doing some awesome crafts, and you sure don't want to miss it. So let's get back to the video. Alright, at this time we'd like to give a special thanks to our subscribers. We love you bunches. And here we go with the final reveal. right, y'all, we're back from the craft test, and then these turn out so cute. Now, if you like our content, subscribe, and that way you don't miss another episode of the Crafty Art Shack, because we're always doing something fun, always trying something new, and always doing crazy things. So you guys subscribe if you're not subscribed. It's free. And we'll see you in the next episode of the Crafty Art Shack. We'll see you later. Bye.
Didn't these turn out just adorable? Those little dupes, I think something I sure do. Alright, y'all, we're back from the craft test, and look at these. Isn't this absolutely gorgeous for a little tier tray sitter? And I love that rooster, and I love the chicken as well, and I'm sure that my daughter is going to love them too. So, you guys, if you like this content, subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you bunches. We love you bunches. And if you like this content, subscribe. Yeah, I said that already. Subscribe. I messed up. Alright, y'all, we're back from the craft desk, and didn't these turn out absolutely gorgeous? I love this one, I love the rooster, and I love the little chicken, and I'm why did I do that? Alright, y'all, give us that big thumbs up, and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next episode. See you later, bye!